Hello everyone, I'm the EFC and this is Blue Lines TV, and today I'm bringing you guys another Predict That 11 video for our upcoming game against Manchester United. Now, before I kick things off with, I want you guys, if you haven't, please, right beside the subscription tab, you'll see the bell notification icon. Click on that and stay in tune with everything Blue Lines TV. It only takes 1 second to do that, so definitely make sure you do that. Now getting straight into the video, and the formation I'm going to go with in today's video is going to be the 3-4-3. I'm thinking for tactical reasons with how United are most probably going to line up, as we've seen them approach in other big games, you know, the 3-4-1-2. It is going to be really congested in midfield, so I think if we were to use a 3-5-2 against them, I don't really see any common sense in that, especially when it makes it easier for United to close down the likes of Eden Hazard and Morata playing up front together. To kick on with the video, I'm going to start with the goalkeeper. Courtois will be the goalkeeper, and actually comparing an Ederson to Courtois, honestly, we do struggle at times to play out from the back because Courtois just isn't accurate with his distribution. If he was able to have more confidence in his passing ability and his passing range, he could help us play out a bit better. But because he isn't adept at doing that, as well as we have other players in deep positions not fully comfortable at playing out from the back, it can be a struggle at times. But regardless, we know what Courtois' strengths are: communication, his ball winning ability in the air, and of course his one-on-one shot saving. But that is one facet of his game that he really needs to improve on. Now moving on to the back three, starting with the left hand side, and you know what, I do see Gary Cahill gaining his place in the team. For some reason Conte is in love with Gary Cahill. Yes, I know I sound a little bit negative here, but you guys have heard my thoughts and opinions on Cahill. He is a good defender, good at defending in central positions, good in the air. He's very intelligent with his positioning as well, but in terms of playing as a wide defender, he just doesn't complement the role very well, and it really hampers the team because, again, people don't trust him to distribute the ball out from the back. He doesn't make advantage of the spaces created for him to actually push forwards and start some attacks. And honestly, you know, he's not good one-on-one defending either, and he's not comfortable pushing out wide. And I know he is the captain, he is a good player, of course, you have to respect everything he's done for Chelsea, but of course I always think in football the system and the team is more important than an individual player, and I just don't think Cahill fully complements this team, and it's no surprise that he is a weak area in the back three. Moving on to the middle of the back three, and I do see David Luiz regaining his place in the team. And I really feel with David Luiz, he's just got too many injuries, and I feel that if he was to have 1 or 2 games out for him to fully recover, we'll see a much more confident looking David Luiz. And I think that, of course, it's documented that his wrist is actually broken and that's healing. We've seen his right knee, he's been struggling with that. Certain games too, it's been reported that he's been picking up knocks, and I feel that, you know, of course, respect to him for playing and putting his body on the line, but I kind of feel that we're starting to see it in his performances, and it's just in terms of very slight mistakes. For example, that game against Roma where the ball fell underneath his foot, that wouldn't normally happen. Of course, aerial ability too, he's not really jumping up as high, of course, because his knee is hurting him, and I just feel that we have Christensen, we have a replacement there, we can use him. That's the whole point of using the squad, and he's showing his adept at doing that. I feel like Luiz just needs to recover a bit so he can get back to his best. Moving on to the right hand side of the back three, and I do see Antonio Rudiger regaining his place there. I think Conte's starting to realise, you know what, Rudiger's passing ability out from the back is a nice addition to the team, and it really helps, especially because he's realising, you know what, him playing there means that we're actually stronger when dealing with aerial threats, and I think that's something that Rudiger's been showing. Of course, he does have a lot of raw things to his game. I'm not going to criticise him for his mistake against Roma, but I think, you know, those communication errors, it happens in football sometimes. It was unfortunate it came at a time when it did, because it really killed the urgency in the game after that, but he's looking promising, I have to say. Moving on to the wing back areas, and starting with right wing back, I do see Azpilicueta regaining his place in the team. I don't think Conte will ever feel comfortable without using Aspi in his team. It's natural in football that managers just have preferences and they just have favourites, and I feel that Aspi is the personification of Conte, and I feel that Conte just likes his warrior-like mentality on the pitch. At the same time, we've seen him struggle as a wing-back. So many times in Roma where he should be bombing forward, attacking the space created, he isn't doing that. I feel there is a liability. Preferably, I would like to see Zappacosta play, but I feel that Conte likes his vice captain on the pitch because it's another guy he can rely on. But maybe with Aspi playing a few more games there, he might get some urgency in the attack. But you know what type of player he is, and honestly, I'm not quite too sure about Conte picking him. Moving on to left wing back, and Marcos Alonso will obviously be playing, and I feel that with Alonso, again, another player with fatigue. We've been playing a lot of games when we train, the players are training quite a lot during the week, and it is more physically focused. So it's no surprise that a lot of players are making sloppy mistakes, are not really able to regain and recover positions. And I think obviously if you include the way we play, where it's kind of physically demanding, it requires a lot of running, you know, box to box running and things like that, especially if you're playing as a wing back, is bound to take its toll. I feel that as the season goes on, if Bembaba gets back, I think even Moses might potentially even play on the left hand side, as Conte was using them quite a lot during pre-season, and Moses showed that he can actually play on the right. And to be honest, when he was at Wigan making his career, he was playing on the left hand side, so you know, he's very adept at doing that. I expect to see some creativity in the wing-back situation as the season goes on. Moving on to the midfield, and I did think that Conte was going to start against Roma, but it feels like Conte really took precautions, which he's entitled to, and maybe in hindsight is the correct decision actually, and he will be playing against Manchester United. Now, when he was injured for France, I did report back ages ago that we won't see Conte until the United game, so wasn't really surprised by that actually. And I feel that Conte, as I've been saying, is the cheat code for this team. You know, he's the most natural box-to-box runner in the team, very comfortable in possession. And of course, we miss him because he's a guy who really closes down space, wins the ball back very efficiently, and really helps us start moves and kick on. And I feel that the positions he takes up defensively as well are very intelligent, and he does close down and nullify a lot of the danger zones that teams occupy. Also, it's going to be an intriguing battle to see Matic versus Conte, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Moving on to Kante's partner, and I do see Fabregas regaining his place in the team, and to be honest, Fabregas and Conte complement each other way more compared to Bakayoko. I feel that when you are using Fabregas in the team, Bakayoko needs to be more balanced in the midfield. He needs to be more tactically aware and more positionally aware as well, and he just can't do that at this moment in time. So it looks like Fabregas is exposed in the midfield, and actually Bakayoko isn't necessarily doing his job effectively, but with Conte beside him, that's going to nullify things. Even then, I do feel sorry for Cesc in a way. Playing in the team, he's playing more as a box-to-box player, because naturally when Conte has his midfielders in the system, they do play more box-to-box roles, and I feel that fatigue is definitely something again that's affected his performances. Moving on to the forwards, yes, starting with the right hand side, and I do see Pedro playing there. I think Pedro really has to have a good game against Manchester United, because it's going to be very important that he does make runs into the spaces left and behind, and the spaces created for him, especially with his deadly finishing from outside the box as well. I feel that he's going to be key to helping us break down Manchester United. Moving on to the left hand side, and yes, Eden Hazard, Man United's biggest bogeyman recently, will be playing, and to be fair, he's been probably our best performer through this pretty difficult period. And with Eden Hazard, that's going to be the player Mourinho is going to focus on the most. I'm expecting Matic to really do a job on him, so it's very vital that we can get the ball to Hazard in the positions he wants it. And I'm hoping that the wing backs bomb forward, because the wing backs bombing forward is going to be the key to winning this game. Just as we beat them 4-0 earlier on last season, we need to create that space for Hazard to be able to get on the ball and lose his markers. And finally, the striker up front, Morata. I think with Morata, again, as I have been saying, I did the player review on him during the summer as well. He's a very confidence-driven player. He needs to feel confident in front of goal. And it's no surprise that he always misses the first opportunity created in the game, because again, Morata hasn't been playing as much as a first-choice striker in his career. Most times he has to have a few shots on goal before he does find the net. Of course, a world-class striker only needs one chance, one opportunity, just like Diego Costa was. But I feel that the more Morata plays, hopefully he can obviously get the goals, get that confidence back, because he's going to be vital as well, because again, that link-up play is needed. We're not helping him by blasting it to him, but I hope he can play it to the ground and he can drop a bit deeper, which I think he's going to have to do to help create the space. But the benefit is he is a good footballer. He is good on the ball. He can link up the play very well, just as we saw in the Bournemouth game when he made that pass to Hazard. He's going to be key as well. That's the lineup that I think Conte is going to pick for the Manchester United game. Now, my lineup is pretty different I have Christensen in the middle again because I do feel that David Luiz has a bit too many injuries and needs to just recover a bit. I don't have Cahill on the team. I've got Aspie out wide and I've got Rudiger on the left. And in midfield, I've gone with Drinkwater and Conte because I feel that Drinkwater must be close to match fitness now. He's been training a lot, recovering a lot. He's been playing in games as well. He didn't play much against Roma. I know that Conte must be looking at Drinkwater to play a part against Manchester United. And I feel a midfield of Conte and Drinkwater at this moment in time is probably the most complementary that we have in the team at this moment in time. And wing back, I've gone for Zappacosta because I feel his directness, his drive to push forward is really going to trouble Manchester United and help create that space we need. Now anyway, you guys, thank you for watching my Predict That 11 video. I'm Nini FC. Please like, comment and subscribe, and of course please stay notified to everything Blue Lions TV. Please press the bell notification icon. Thank you for watching today's video and I'll see you guys later.